Hey!
What's happening?
Welcome to the tezos-artcast. This is episode number 36.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm so excited. Every day that incrementally that number crawls up,
Yeah.
I get more excited. Oh, I lied. It's 35.
35.
35 is a good number.
It's the dopest number, I would say.
I think so. I think it's dope as fuck.
Yes.
I said it. Hello, Dope 35 episode. Welcome. Welcome to the tezos-artcast, a show, place, thing that we meet all kinds of cool people and get to view all kinds of art, music, games, where all of those things cross over. We get to meet all kinds of creative folks who are making stuff and doing it around the Tezos blockchain. So that's kind of our home base, and yeah, the main focus is on the art and the music and the games and seeing what cool stuff's out there and seeing what inspires people. So if it's your first time, welcome. If you're one of our many regulars, thank you for your support, and we love seeing you in here. We've gotten to know some really cool people over the last year, and it's almost been a year,
man,
since we started. I think our first stream was like I definitely have it archived, but I know our first post on the site. Let's take a quick look. I'm curious now.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm kind of curious.
See if we can go all the way back just by scrolling. No,
it'll give you older posts. I'm down to. I'm trying. I think I might beat you. I'm 06, 04, 03, and let's see, 01. March 16th.
March 16th. Nice.
You know what that means? Now we have to have some sort of party. We have to have a 1-year anniversary.
March 16th?
That's what it said in the bottom.
I got May 3rd.
Oh, well, but maybe March 16th is when it was posted or something.
Okay. Well,
no, it says from. If you look at the bottom of Weekly Exploration, or in that one,
yeah,
it's in the description. It said Tuesday, March 16, 2021.
Well, it's coming.
Yeah,
we have to have. Yeah, you're right. We have to have some kind of big party for sure. But yeah, so what's new with you?
Caffeinated, working hard on regular work, and then like I said, the battle station has been my main focus lately. I managed to get this thing really worked out, so it's pretty cool. And honestly, looking at minting, I'm actually trying to produce a little bit of content so I can go ahead and mint a couple things. I don't really want to get into massive collection for everyone. It actually is more for me. I just want to mint certain things, know that they're going to be in the blockchain forever, and just kind of keep them there. Uh, Maybe for future digital stocking stuffers type of stuff.
Nice.
I think it might be doing that later.
Hell yeah. There have been a lot of developments in the marketplaces going up and stuff. Do you have a place that you'd like to mint in particular, or is that something that you'll decide later after some searching?
I'm doing the research right now. I'm actually trying to figure out because you know me. First of all, I want to kind of like make sure that that if it is centralized, that it is a nice culture that is that it's not competitive, or at least is getting formed, so that I can be part of creating that culture.
I'm pretty sure you wanted to say cult there.
Well, I mean, hey, you can't really spell culture without cult, right?
That's true. You're right.
And we live in the age of the cult of personality, so.
Right.
But
the mintable cult, mintable personality. Wait a second. Hold on. Mintable personality disorder.
I see where you're going, and I think we can work on that. I see where this is going.
I feel like that's a future profile pic series there.
Yeah.
Mintable personality disorder. Oh yeah.
And I'm writing down on the whiteboard, man. Mintable personality disorder. MPD.
You could have Oh man. That's going in the DSM-5 officially in 2040. That'll be an official diagnosis.
What happened to you?
Hey, wait, you got that mic on?
This one?
Yeah, because I'm not hearing it from that. I don't think. I don't know.
Testing, is that better?
A little better. I think so. There we go. But yeah, what are you diagnosed with, and what happened?
Well, I have a little bout of MPD,
Oh, wait. Flip it up. You're right. It's loud. Okay.
Better?
Sorry.
No, anyways. Just a little bout of MPD, a little mintable, what is it? Mintable personality disorder. Just started minting my personalities, I guess.
That's right.
For aspects of my life, I was feeling a little. I went through my blue period right after my red period.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So they had we had Versum launch recently, Versum.xyz marketplace, and then the Hickett Nunk community vote that was going on to switch the name from Hickett Nunk finally went through, and the new name is Tia. Which is a Portuguese name meaning web, if I'm not mistaken. So that's cool that they came to some kind of agreement. I voted on it. I voted for Sync with a Q for the record. But hey, I guess that's popular democracy or something. Right. Or another experiment in blockchain voting. I guess someone brought up that you could technically have 5 different wallets, and the difference between the two names was 5 votes. So if I had opened up 10 wallets real quick,
that would have.
I could have shifted it back in the direction of Sync. But so these are obviously some blockchain voting techniques and pitfalls that we'll have to be aware of and address in the future of this strange new world.
Well, listen. Before we had internal combustion engines, we had to develop explosions. So one step at a time. We'll get to a fully functioning machine. Right now, we just discovered gunpowder.
That's right. Either way, it's terrifying. Gunpowder is scary by itself. And if gunpowder's scary, wait till you see machine gun or the rotary. What's the rotary? I don't know.
Oh yeah, the rotary ones.
The Tommy gun.
Tommy. Oh, okay.
Give me a good Tommy gun and go off to the races. All right. But yeah, lots of options for minting now. There's like something new coming up all the time. I actually looked. I think I've got all of the links up, but if you look here, I'm pretty sure this is all of them. These are all the marketplaces currently online, including a couple of mirrors like hick.af and hennext. But
that's a pretty good list, man.
Yeah, it's like I think there's like 16 or 17, including some that are newer that are kind of like Subtrack. I heard about it's a music marketplace, pretty new. You have to sign up with an email, so I don't know if they have what kind of integration they have in. I'm always kind of like, if you don't have the wallet integration as a login, then that seems a little, not suspect, but it's just different. I guess what was another one? One of was an email too, I think, to start. So it's not suspicious. It's just not the norm.
I think there's going to be a lot of make or break when it comes to security for these places. I think security is something that they really, really need to look at, and privacy and all those good things. Whew. Speaking of security, I get a nice ambulance going by. But
nice.
Anyways, I think that's that like these places are these mints are going to start looking into security a lot more over the next year or so, because as the what do you call it, as the space grows, as the community grows and the space grows online, obviously it's going to attract people that don't have the best things in mind for the community. And so I feel like security is going to be a big deal in the next year or so.
It's huge. I think we were talking earlier in the week. We were both looking at some different security, ethical hacking video kind of things, and I stumbled across bug bounties. That's what we were looking at, and that's something like there's some bug bounty hunters that are becoming, like I can't think of his name right now, but we found his site, and there's a list of all of these vulnerabilities that this person found in all of these ETH contracts, in NFT projects, in especially DeFi projects, where they were able to kind of find an exploit in a contract, test it out for that vulnerability, and let the developers know and work towards a fix. And that's something that, I mean, especially when you're talking about this space, like you said, the more it grows, like the more important bug bounties are going to be, and the more security is going to be needed. So lots of space to grow. Crypt teams, what's up? Yo.
Welcome.
Well, should we dip into this?
Yeah, let's bring in our guest.
I'm ready to get dope. But there's only one other alternative. It's either get dope or get dead.
That's right.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will soon. So super stoked to invite this guest in. Been a community member here at the Tezos-artcast for quite some time. Regular in the chat. Has a really cool Discord going on, but super sick game and series. So I want to welcome in Sane of Dope Bois NFT. What's up?
What's up, Jeff? Good times. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
NFT Raider. So he said, hey, I don't know how to comment on that. I can just comment on my phone, I guess. I usually
do it on the Twitch stream.
Okay. So I'll just be saying, I'm saying genre in the chat.
Right on.
I've seen me in there before. Beard Club up in here.
Yeah, right. Beard and glasses for the win.
So,
Yeah, so welcome, man. It's good to see your face, and yeah, you're not just a profile picture.
no,
You're a human being.
yeah, most of the time.
Allegedly, we're all human beings, right?
Allegedly, that's right.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, so for those of who are watching who might not be familiar, can you kind of start out just like telling you a little bit about yourself and kind of like where you're from, or just a little bit.
yeah. I'm from up north to you guys. I'm in Canada, so um, British Columbia, West Coast. So,
Nice.
yeah, basically, I was working before for like a app company doing like they're building an app for gaming for like trying to make a what was it? It was like a sort of for like tournament system. They wanted to build an app for it. Anyway, about a year ago, that went under. So I just kind of got fully into NFTs. I actually looked back on my OpenSea account to see like I was trying to like figure out like how long have I been in this, and like I haven't been buying or selling or anything, but I think I minted my first thing back in 2020. But obviously there was a year off where I was working for another company, so it's only been a year that I've kind of been fully diving into this. But yeah, there was something called Pixel Chain back then, I think, where you could like create your own little pixel drawings and then like mint them, and I was like, oh, that's neat. So
yeah,
and then yeah, after I kind of my job ended about a year ago, I just kind of started fully diving in and kind of creating. It actually wasn't Dope Bois when I first started it. The vision was something different, but it was, believe it or not, even more complicated. And I was like, oh, I'm not I do the art and I like to create stories and games, but when it comes to like coding, I need to definitely step up my coding game and start to learn how to do that, because I have a lot of grand ideas that I have to figure out like kind of Jimmy rigged ways to like pull them off.
Sure.
My little wheel spin.
Everyone's a hacker. I stand by what I say. Everyone is a hacker. They just don't know it yet. They just haven't run into the problem that's going to make them think outside the box and go, man, I really need to make this work. What do I have to do?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it started, was a different game that kind of fell along the same lines, but it was kind of more based on medieval, and you started out as like a peasant, and then you would like build them up to be like a dope knight, but I started there, and then I was like, hey, how can I simplify this a little bit? And I thought I simplified it enough, but it's crazy how like just little steps like burning. There's so many people that just don't even know how to burn. Like,
right.
They'll pick one up and they'll be like, so what's burning? Like, how do I burn? And it's like, oh, okay. I thought that was like something.
So my computer's on fire, and I was wondering how that helps me.
Yeah.
Do you reimburse me for the laptop, or?
There was even way back. There was one guy that slipped up. He burnt a Dope Bois number 3, the only Dope Bois that's been burned. And I tried to get a hold of him and be like, hey, what can we do? Like, can we like get this back? But he never, I guess he was just somebody who like bought in, he burnt it in I think a necromancer potion, and just never reached out to me, never did anything. He just kind of like went his way.
That was it.
The only thing I had for him was an address, so wallet address. He had no.
I hope this is not the case, but it does say you either get dope or you get dead, and clearly the man did not want to get any more dopers. So
I have like kind of a lore that I'm building, like a storyline that I'm going to add. Once I've been working on the website, and so once I get that, I'm going to put in a little bit more lore to the whole Dope Bois, and like what they are, where they come from, like why they exist, and what the crews mean and everything. And I think it would be fun to go back through on the Discord. If anyone's in the Discord, I kind of have a channel called The Boys where I post all the boys every time they're made. put the card up. Also, it's just for easy access if people brawl and they don't, they haven't right-click saved their own picture or done whatever, they can just quickly go there or search their Dope Boy number, find it, pull it up. But I kind of think I'm going to go in and start in at number 1 and kind of put a little storyline in for each of the characters. And I think number 3, the one that's missing, is going to be some like secret police that he went missing and no one's heard from him. No one knows where
gone. Right.
I like
vanished.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick. Okay. So originally you were working with a gaming app that went under, that kind of brought you into where you're at now. But for people who haven't seen the game or are already not like familiar, just starting from when you got the idea, you said it was kind of more complex. Where are you where are you at now? Because I'm showing, like, if I show this is the what's the name of the project? Where'd the name come from? Like, is it a card game? Is it a profile pic thing? Like, kind of break down the game for us real quick for people who are just brand new to this period.
Sure. So when I landed on going with Dope Bois, it was kind of during the beginning of like the PFP boom, 10K generatives, and they were just blowing up. And I was like, okay, well, this is where people's interest is, but this isn't really what I want to do. Like, I like a lot. There's a lot of aspects I like about it, and don't get me wrong. Like, I own a bunch of those. Like, I'm in them, but I just didn't feel like I had the following. Like, I don't want to like put out 10K of something and whatever. And I wanted to have more of a game aspect. I've always been someone that likes to create games. Like at my own house, whenever I go traveling, I make up card games. I make up tabletop games. Or if I have games that already exist and I'm kind of bored, I like to make up new rules for them. So like, it's always been an interest of mine, games. So I was like, okay, well, how can I go kind of like this PFP thing that's booming, kind of get on board with that, but do my own thing. So I thought I would like to have something that has these traits that have these sets, because I understand like people like the idea of like a set rarity and stuff like that. So that's kind of where the idea of, I was like, I'll make up a system where the stats are generated randomly. But then I want to have a bit of freedom of how I put that all together and how it looks. And then I also want to build that into a game that people can play. And the other thing I didn't like about the PFP projects is a ton of them were like promising a game down the road, like, oh, we're development, and all these like what's the utility? And everyone's promising stuff so far away. And I just want to be like, I just want to give people something that they can do right now. That if you wanted to, you could print this out or put it up on your phone and have a pair of dice and roll. You could play it wherever. And just kind of like, you don't need me to build the game for you. I've given you the tools. You could, like, anyone can go build a game. I mean, I down the road would love to figure out how to actually build a DApp where you can just kind of connect your wallet, pull up any of your Dope Boys and just get into a match and do that. That would be sick. But for now, I just was like, how can I make a game, a place for people to play it, start rewarding them, start talking to them, and kind of test it out. So like right now, Dope Bois is series 1. There was 100 Lame Boys made. So there's potentially 100 Dope Bois that could exist. I guess max now would be 99 because one of them's been burned. But again, like, I think there's a couple of people that have mentioned they might just hang on to their Lame Boy just for like the history value of it.
Yeah,
I know. I have a couple of those. I know I have a couple of and I want to hold on to them. There's a sentimental value. There's the historical value, and then whatever aggregated value it might have, right?
Yeah. So what is a Lame Boy? So me coming into the game brand new, now that I kind of see some of the utility, mentioning a Lame Boy. What's a new player do when they're coming into this game?
Right. So the concept with the Lame Boy, how that came to be, was knowing that I didn't want to just create all the traits and just copy paste them all together immediately. But I still wanted to have kind of that reveal fun that was going on with the PFPs, where you like didn't know what you were going to get. So it came up, and it was kind of from the previous idea where I had this idea of taking a peasant and building him into a knight. And I was like, well, what if you started out and you're just like this basic lame boy? And so people buy that card, they burn it, and then that's when I play this game, which I came up with. It's called Get Dope or Get Dead, which basically is like this trial where your lame boy goes in, there's attack training, defense training, and all these things add to your stats, and then there's these fights. But as you do these fights, you level up your boy. However, if you get into a fight that's too high a level for you, you just die. Like, why does it have to come up with that you always win? Like, why does everyone always come out with something? So I was like, I want to have it that there's like not a, I think it's, I don't know the exact odds, but I feel like it's probably about like 1 in 10 chance that you might get dead.
Right.
So, but then I also felt like people are investing money. I don't want to just have them sitting on this dead boy. So I came up with the concept of undead crew, which is basically I created something called a necromancer potion that you can, if you get one of those and you have a dead boy, you can bring him back as this rare kind of undead crew. And the way that it's going to work out is as Series 1 comes to an end, once all the lame boys have kind of, all the Get Dope and Get Deads have been run, I'll make sure there's enough necromancer potions so that every dead boy could come back to life. That's not to say that the hands are always going to change, that the person who holds one, that's up to the community to, like, whoever owns a necromancer potion to either get the dead boy or to put the dope boy or the dead boy into the hands of the person with the potion. Like, I can't control that part, but I want to make sure that, like, nobody's left with a dead boy that couldn't come back to life.
Right. And that's so cool. Like, so I got two lame boys. I bought 2 lame boys, and the first one came back, and I had Rex, and he was super cool, and it was like he was picked for me. It was like he has like a toy machine mask. He's up here in the corner. Where he has a toy machine skateboarding shirt, and he's got a little knife, super cool. And I skated for a long time, so having like a character with like a little skate shirt was just like fucking awesome.
Yeah. I've no one's ever brought that up to me, and I'm like, do I go through all this extra detail to, like, all the shirts, like, they're kind of like these like parodies of like brands. Like, I spend so much time like, oh, how can I parody stuff? And like, not all of them are per se, but like there's little things that I hide in there, and I'm like, no one's ever once mentioned to me like, hey, isn't that like the toy machine, or isn't that like that's like the,
that's funny.
I think that's from the 100 collab with Obsidian. It was like an arrowhead, but I turned it into like a spade. And yeah, yours is like the toy machine logo, but with a little heart head on them.
Yeah, I love it, and there is so much detail. So I was immediately like, okay, the level on this guy is a little bit lower than I want. I want another one. I'm gonna throw it down. I burned it, and I got dead. So I experienced both sides of it, and I was like, man, well, that sucks, but at the same time, like, that's really cool. One's dope, one's dead. There's those 2 options, and I think that was right before Halloween, where that was the first time I had heard about the necromancer potion. So, and that was a really cool idea. So, what you were saying about the necromancer potion, you didn't want it to just be kind of like game over, and this was a way to allow people to keep playing, basically. So it wouldn't be a permanent death, but still, like, there's real stakes.
Absolutely. So like it would come down to the point, like if necromancer potions are just outpriced for you, you could always sell your dead boy. There'd be people who would be looking for one. So like I just didn't want people to have a situation where they're at like a total loss. And the same with like the levels. Like I know that there's gonna be more lower levels than higher levels. That's just got to be the way for these things to happen. But I still wanted, that's why I like drawing them and like giving just little unique things. So I like recently in the boys on the Discord, the channel, the boys, I also have a pin tweet where I've started to kind of build out like a spreadsheet with the royalties and whatnot, or not the royalties, sorry, the rarities. And I didn't
Yeah.
put anything specific to do with like what upgrades you got, because I wanted it to be like the number of upgrades is what's important for rarity, not what it looks like, because I wanted to keep that freedom to draw something that
Mhm.
if you think that's cool and you like it, that's great, but no one can say I'm giving special privilege to someone because like, why do you have the only like, you know, toy machine shirt or whatever? It's just that's what I was feeling at the time, and I drew it. It may end up on another one, it may not. And in the end, like those kind of stats will just be community things that people will make up their own thing about, but I'll never put that into the into what I score as like
Gotcha.
a valuable trade or whatnot.
Okay.
And as far as the levels too, like
Yeah.
I wanted to make the game so that even if you had a low level, you could play, and also that if you only had one Dope Boy, you could play. So right now, I only have rules up for 1v1. Basically, you put up one Dope Boy, I put up one Dope Boy, and whoever puts up the challenge, you can set it so that you only want to play people around your level. And as long as the level is close, like there's a good chance it'll be a fairly even match. And same with when I set up event, like I like to run events and stuff. I think I've run one every month. I did like the Halloween thing, which is where I kind of introduced the Necromancer Potion. There was the Christmas swap, new member November. I just did an XP one for January, and now the February one just went up. And for the February one, basically anyone who has a Dope Boy, if you just sign up to participate, you're entered to win something. And then once I have all the people that sign up, you'll be matched up to the person closest to you in level. So it's not like you're just gonna get stomped by someone with a level 22 card every time you play. I want it to be like a fair and open place where it's like, yeah, you might not have the best, but you can still play just as much. I mean, honestly, the lower boys are usually a little bit easier to get into the game and play with because all you need to know is how to use the dice bot to roll and maybe a couple things. Once you get into the higher boys, they've got some in that little yellow box there. You can see there's heal and like fox spirit. So basically there's like 3 things that can end up in there. You can get attributes, which will show up in white text and they'll be highlighted by that color. And they'll have like a little indicator at the beginning of when you use them. And so an attribute can be used whenever it is, whenever it's called for. So like it'll say like on your turn or whatever, and you can always use it. Then those ones that are there are called abilities, and they can only be used during your action phase, and you can only use one of them at a time or attack. So, and then the last thing is pets, and there's actually only one pet that's appeared, and it's sort of like it goes on your action phase too, but it's its own thing. So like if you're affected by something, it's not, and it can always use its own thing. I think the only one with a pet is the little turtle dude. Oh, there he is, Jax.
Haha, yeah.
And yeah, so he's just like a little dude, and so pets are underlined so that you can see, and it says pet in front of them, and he just like takes a bit of damage for you instead of you.
Very cool.
So yeah, it gets more complex as you get higher up, but the other thing about it is you don't need to learn what every single thing means to play. You just need to learn what your card does.
Right.
And so after we get a bit more people, after the first 100 and I start getting into Series 2, I'm going to introduce some new gameplays. I can drop a little bit of knowledge on you guys right now. It's a little secret information, but the next game styles that are going to be coming up are going to be like 3v3 and level cap. So basically a level cap will be like, they'll say like level 20, and you can use as many boys as you want, but the total of their levels can't equal more than 20. So like if someone owned a bunch of low boys, they could bring them in against at level 20, but they're probably going to just get knocked out 1-on-1. But maybe you can hope that you just like hit them down.
Right.
Look, I'm not a mathematician, but you said you might have a 1 in 10 chance of getting dead. That brings up those numbers. If you got 20 dope boys, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Scata.
there's still like so much. It's hard for me because I have so many ideas for it that I'm like, oh, I just want to do it all now. But like I'm trying to pace myself a little bit because it's I want to get people in and get people playing and get people used to the mechanics of the 1v1 and just like get used to the attributes, the abilities, and how to do it.
Yeah,
Before I start making the game more in depth.
sure.
Absolutely.
Are we able to? Are you able to walk us through like a one-on-one, like a 1v1 live? Because that would be super fun.
Like in the Discord, do you want me to just do one, or do you just want to like me to walk?
We could do that. I could show the Discord if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Because most of the gameplay, or all of the gameplay, is happening in the Discord, right?
Yeah, right now. I mean,
you could technically
add a dice bot to your own Discord and play it there too. But for any kind of, if you want, I have a leaderboard going basically where I record XP. So people who play, so down in the battlegrounds there.
There we go.
Yeah, so if you if you do a brawl and you have like you do it for rep, then you'll get XP points. So that's just the list of the brawls that have happened so far, and then the other one kind of gives the other list gives an overview standing.
Nice. Okay.
It's in order of boys right now. Yeah. Anyway, I should go and switch that up so it's in order of XP. But
can I hit that? No. Okay.
I think because I didn't allow people to edit it, I think I have to maybe set that. That's fine. I can change that. But yeah, so there haven't been like a ton. Usually it's for events right now. I don't know if there's a guy, D-Bot Cherry. I don't know if he's in watching this right now, but he's won a lot of stuff just because people haven't started really playing with their boys yet. So
yeah, he's become an intimidating figure.
Yeah.
I mean, by default, I don't know. Like either way, like he's a D-Bot is a force to be reckoned with. I see anytime there's a brawl, there's a D-Bot Cherry involved. Troublemaker. It's the kind of boy you want.
He just burned a dead boy, a necromancer potion, and he had a dope shroom. So for people who don't know what a dope shroom is, I later added this thing called a dope shroom because in your get dope or get dead, actually I can bring up maybe I'll bring up a get dope or I can run like a mock get dope or get dead for you if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think I can just screen share, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me just get one open here.
There's the dope shroom, which is dope.
Okay. So, does this, can I pick just a window? Yeah, there we go. Does that work? Is that showing?
Yep.
All right, so yeah, so this is kind of when someone burns a lame boy live in the Discord. What I do is I'll try to do it at a time that works for them and me so that they can watch it. But I record them all and post the stats right after anyway. This was just the best way I could come up with without coding for me to be like, okay, this is my proof that I'm not doing any favoritism. I'm letting this wheel site do it.
It's a chance, yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, and it's when I set up to do it, like, I don't know if someone can figure out how their rhythm is for this, but like I do the shuffles and my presses are at random intervals. So even if you knew like what it's pulling from, I don't think you could control when I push the button. So.
Right.
Like it would just be too. I feel like it would be way too hard. So I was like, this to me, and then I record it and I run it live. So if anyone wants to watch it, they can. So I'm like, that's just the best way I can come up with to show that it's all fair and good. Sorry, it's good time.
Oh, I was just thinking about I'm trying to understand the system of impartiality, but yeah, that's a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah, so basically all lame boys, when you burn one, they start out at level 1. So on left here, you can see like on the wheel spots, there's attack training, a couple defense training, and those will up your base attack score and your HP. And then this is escape, and it starts at 0, but with the dope shroom, if you burn it, you get 1 free escape. So that means if you get into a fight that you can't handle, you can escape it and not end up dead. And then so all the fight levels start at level 1, and you being a level 1 can beat your level or lower. So you can beat any level 1 fight. So the first fight you get in, you can always win. Nicknames, this is actually something that went really weird. I thought it would be like it would work out better when I created the names than I thought they would make more sense, but they've ended up being such weird names, like the way it randomly selects because like after these nicknames, I have wheels for all the nickname spots, and there's like 100 different things on, like adjectives, and then there's like 10 different animals, and like the matchups that randomly come up are so weird. But now I kind of love that about them, that they're just, the names are just the weirdest things you've ever heard.
Right. The concept that you had in your mind was like, this is going to be funny and quirky, and then it's like no.
It'll be like, like Jimmy the Fish, and like just like things that made sense, but then they end up being like Abominable Paul.
Dead Shark Johnny. I thought I saw Dead Shark Johnny or something like that.
Dead Shark. That one's like one of the more normal ones. And then the upgrades, stop. Obviously, that either if you have an escape, you escape, or it ends your game, and that's the stats you have so far. And then upgrades are things like, the shoes, the clothes, hair, face, tattoos, beards, all that kind of stuff. I left them kind of some of them general, so it'll just say like lower face, so just to give myself some freedom. But and there's a whole bunch of stuff tied into that too. Like there's one secret, actually, no one's landed it yet, but if anyone hits the hands trait all 3 times, they actually get dual weapons, like double.
Oh!
No one's landed it yet, so.
You just up the stakes for me, man.
Little alpha there. Yeah. And then the way the fights work is once you land on one, your level goes up by 1, but the fight level doubles. So I'll just run like a mock one right now. Show you, but basically it would spin, and so then that would be a nickname. So now he wouldn't just be like Tommy, he'd be like Crazy Tommy or something. And then fight level 1. So the character would become level 2, but now a fight spot is level 2 as well. And then fight level 1, so character would be now level 3. Fight spot goes up to level 2. And attack training. Anyway, I'll just speed this up. But anyway, after you'd land on, say, like a level 2, then level 2 would go to level 4. Then it goes to level 8. And then it goes to level 16. So at the low levels 1, 2, 4, you're almost always high enough level to beat it. Once it gets up to 8 or 16, that's where you start to end up with a high chance of getting dead. And actually, to get past level 16 is like the most tedious spot, because you have to have like 16, 16, 8, or sorry, 8 there. And that's when your character becomes level 16. So until you get to this kind of outcome, landing on those, you either need to have escapes or you're going to end up dead. So that bridge point of getting past level 16 to up to level 22 is where most of the dead boys come up. So that's where you kind of see the higher range between below level 16 for Dope Bois. And then once a level 16 is built, then a boss fight comes in. And boss to beat is level 18. And also, once you beat the boss, that's the same as ending the game. It's kind of like if you beat Bowser, the game's over. Like you don't keep spinning and getting more stuff. It's done.
Ah.
Okay, so if I'm understanding it right, um, uh, when I burn a lame boy, you're running this wheel, right? That's what you're talking about. Okay, and then it's that's pretty much like that's essentially like a mini game within the game. So it's deciding like your levels, it's deciding certain traits and how rare they are, health level, attack level. That's all decided by this initial spinning of the wheel.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I knew that, but I'm piecing it together in my head. Okay, cool. So
like then after that first wheel, like these are all the wheels.
Oh, that's
that I
awesome.
have because like all your dope boys will run the same, but once you get into the undead boys, they all have their own wheel system. Like so, if you land a vamp style, it runs different than the zombie or the ghost. But for your regular dude, like so, yeah. Once all that's decided, like I did as much random as I could. So like the names, there's like here's a list. These are like 100, and yeah. So there's like the names wheel. There's 100 on there, and it's a list of top 100 dog names I pulled off the internet.
Yes. Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yeah,
that's right.
And, a bunch of these are all kind of the adjectives, and I just kind of did it alphabetically. I made sure there was like one for each letter, and then you've got animal nicknames, and these all add different stats too. So, if you get some of these come with an ability or an attribute, and some of them just add to your health or your attack. Same with weapons. That's all randomly selected. And the way the weapons works is a little different because you might notice there's like a lot of different weapons, but they all start out as like the 4 basic archetypes of the weapon, which is knife, bat, sword, or slingshot. And what happens is as you level up, as you reach certain level up requirements, your weapon levels up. So when you say clear all the level 1 fights, knife will go up to a dagger, which is what your Rex has. Bat goes up to like a barbed wire bat or like a spiked bat. Slingshot goes up to a pistol. Sword goes up to a long sword. And they all have upgrade levels up to what's the highest class, which is dragon weapon. And there's only one of those out there right now. It's there's one guy, he's got like pink hair. He's wearing like a basketball jersey. Anyway, he's got like a dragon hammer. And every time it increases, it adds, better stats. And also, there's less people that have that weapon.
It's a pretty well thought out system, man. It's that's.
Yeah, I have what I call the Dope Boy Bible and the Dead Boy Bible, which are 2 big, huge Google Docs where I just madly scribble to try to have this all figured out. But that's been the really good thing. Like instead of me trying to do it big and just kind of going small and doing them one by one has allowed me to really like go through and refine them so that as someone gets a new ability, I get to really think through like, oh, okay, how would this work now in gameplay? And then kind of try to correct it along the way instead of having everything pre-put into a cannon that just spits them out and then be like, oh, that actually doesn't work.
Right.
In concept, like I've just made an impossible, move. So and yeah, these are the things for your attributes. So like, as you see, like most of them have brown or black hair just because in the world, that's the most common hair color. So as you land on hair, once you get 1 hair, then you might end up with like, that's where you get the blonde characters and red hair and stuff like that. And even like the color patterns, I won't say it's fully random because I use Cooler. It's like a color palette generator, but I also wanted to like have that kind of be random as well. So I use that. And then I kind of, after this is all run and I have all the stats, my brain starts to like think of like what that character will look like, and then I'll just go on Cooler and I'll just hit random color palettes until I'm like, okay, I can work with that, and then go from there. So all the color palettes.
Random aspect to it.
Yeah, it's random color palettes, random names. If they happen to get 3 expressions, they'll have a little talk box, and it's got 3 emojis in it. And I use, again, a random 3 emoji picker that I get. And that one too. I don't necessarily take the first one. I'll maybe hit it a couple times, and then I see one and be like, okay, that's funny. I like that.
Let me just preview that real quick for people. The little emoji. This one's got a bone. Looks like a shark or a fish and a little lightning bolt. That's awesome. And totally sick blades, bro.
I know.
It's Morningstar,
That's
right?
another thing too. It's another thing about the random is that so there's what's called special on this wheel here, and if they land on that, they get a special. And so far, the majority of times, I mean, there's a lot of them. There's a guy who has a cigarette. There's a guy with a pipe. There's lots of different specials. But for some reason, the most common one right now is rollerblades. It happened to hit like
I
3
knew they were
times.
going to come back. Just like Jokers, I knew they were coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my special?
I was actually I was down in the arts district here in Vegas last week, and we just got done having this nice like brunch on a patio, and like having a beer, like talking to my lady, and I look over and there's just like one dude in the parking lot with knee pads and some rollerblades, just like practicing going backwards. Okay, turns around, practicing going forwards, and I noticed that there was only 2 wheels on it, so I'm like, this dude's gonna get into some grinding later on in the day. He's gonna hit a curb or something. Like, okay,
Already set up for grinding.
That's so funny, dude. That's so funny because I was about to tell you that I really love rollerblades because I can't stand on the regular skates on the quads, whatever they're called. I can't stand. I literally, it's supposed to be easier, it's supposed to be more stable. The moment I put those things on, it's like banana peels all over the floor. I look like an infomercial for someone that can't walk. This is awful. And so I got rollerblades, and I was just trying to be cool because I wanted the K2s, like the really cool K2s that were for grinding, but definitely could not afford those. So I ended up just getting my rollerblades and like straining the bottom and then taking off the middle wheels. And just putting the grind plates on it, and that's what I used for like, I don't know, like 2-3 years. It was awesome. And now I miss
okay, wait a second. Are you saying that you're a blader, bro?
I was an aggro inline skater.
Unfortunately, man. Yeah, we got to end this friendship. I appreciate your time.
Just for that, I can't stop. I'm not gonna stop until I get a Dope Bois with skates. All right.
Okay, that's awesome, dude. I love it.
So cool.
Well,
I love that. That's the most common thing. Yeah.
There's a couple things on here that are like, there's 2 levels of it. So there is skateboard as well, which is like, if you notice, they're pretty much similar thing. Like rollerblades, the thing it gives you is even evade, and then skateboard gives you odd dodge, which is
okay.
In the gameplay, what that means is you get to like avoid attacks that have an even value or attacks that have an odd value. But I also made that the stat boosts for skateboard are better than rollerblade. So like rollerblade is the low one.
Well done.
No respect for the blade, bro.
Hey, I've had fun on rollerblades. When I was a kid, my dad built us like a half pipe.
Nice.
He was like great at carpentry, but like he didn't really know like the physics of it, and he built it so steep that like it was impossible to drop in on. But if you put on a pair of rollerblades and started at the bottom, you could get whipping on it. And it was honestly one of the most fun times I had was on a pair of rollerblades in a half pipe that was just way
the
too
half pipe
steep.
of death.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I've always been a big proponent, and I'm sure it's not my like personal idea, but I always say that people put stuff like themselves into their art, sometimes without knowing. And I think you brought that up a couple of times about like stuff that influences you, how it just kind of makes its way into Dope Boys. That's pretty rad, and I guess that does make you the dopest boy then.
That's right. That's right.
Came up from a lame boy.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah, I feel like I've put so many things into this that, and leaving it up to randomness means like it could take quite a long time before I even get to actually put some of them into play. So
Yeah, and so all these traits and everything, like you've put so much work in up front, like, and I know you already kind of touched on it, like you wanted to make sure it was playable like from the jump, as opposed to kind of promising there's going to be some kind of game mechanics down the line and people have to wait. And it's so great to see in a project, and like I know. Like you said, like there's so many projects that are like it's coming, and some of them are evolving, and some of that gameplay is starting to evolve in some of these projects. But to have it baked in from the beginning, you're essentially developing a game that should be the mechanic that works the best, and then having this great art on top of it is just super cool. So thank you for putting all this work in up front. Like this is fucking sick.
The NFT trainer said
I'm not gonna lie, like I did it for me. Like I wanted something that was fun for me and I wanted it to stay fun for me while I was doing it. So that's kind of where a lot of the mechanics that seem like they're driven towards the person buying it. It's also kind of for me. It's like, well, I don't want to just like turn on traits. I want to like draw the face. I want to like, if I have an idea for a logo for the shirt, I want to be able to slap that on. And then coming up with these, like, yeah, it was a long time before I even launched Dope Bois that I was writing these wheels and making up these things. But like, it was fun for me to like kind of play around with it. So
yeah. Real quick, I still want to know more about the mechanics, but talking about all these traits and everything, like. Have you been an artist for a long time? Like, I mean, is art something that you pursued in school? Were you like a graphic designer, art illustrator for the game company you were working for initially? Like, what's that artistic background look like? Because like these characters are super sick, and just like, yeah, I love the style of it. Like from the get-go, it just always stood out to me. So yeah, I'm curious about all of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved doing art since I was a little kid. I didn't go to like university. I did go to like an art college for one semester, and a couple things like that. My background, I actually was in, when I first left, I've always had art as a passion, but I just started out doing comedy, actually, like sketch comedy, improv, stand-up, that kind of thing. And then life happened and I ended up having a kid and kind of getting off that and got back into art more. And yeah, I did freelance graphic design. I illustrated a couple of children's books. And then I was into more traditional art, drawing and painting and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have art battles down in the States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got into that. Like I liked doing that kind of stuff. But then, yeah, I was doing a lot more of my freelance stuff. Ended up kind of becoming actually, weirdly, you mentioned Sync with a Q, because I actually worked for a company. They do like security technology or something, but I was doing like graphic and motion design stuff for their. But like it was all corporate, and it was like logos and stuff, and I really kind of hated it. And then I got into
Yeah.
the gaming company, and it was really cool because I kind of got to be like the art director of it / UI UX. I got to like create everything
cool.
and kind of run it because it was a small team. So I was doing all the graphics, all the like UI design, UX design for it, and all that kind of stuff. So it was a little bit crazy, and like there definitely were some stresses to it that I'm glad I'm not in it anymore. But it was kind of my toe into really diving into like the Adobe suite and working that. I mean, I don't have After Effects anymore. I kind of stripped now that I've stripped down to just like Photoshop, but that definitely is something I used to do and may end up bringing some more kind of animated stuff, getting back into it. But I don't. It's hard because there's so many things I want to learn now too. Like I want to learn how to code and I want to learn how to do all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
who knows?
You and us, brother. Let me tell you. It's like
It's just things to like do.
Every time I figure out like what I want to learn, I realize there's 20,000 things I need to learn before that, and then I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just start with one, and I'll prep that, and I'm like, oh wait, there's 20,000 things before this, so might as well dive into that. I love it.
And I also don't like the one thing I with this is I go by same genre on Twitter too, and I love the same way I love to like create games. I love trying out different art styles and doing different things. Like, so I do like my own personal account too, where if you looked at it, you wouldn't know it was the same artist as Dope Bois. I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Do you mind if we look at it? Are we good to look at it?
Go for it.
Okay.
I don't know how many people are here because like if there's not, depending on what the count is, I'm happy to give away something to everybody from same genre account because it's just like it's not really for much as for sales as it is just for me to like personally try stuff out and do stuff.
Very cool.
So there's some of them are series and some of them are just random drops of stuff that.
Oh yeah, you know what? I remember seeing these like at random. At some point, it's awesome. Yeah, it is so different from the Dope Boy stuff.
Yeah, there's like some animations, some video manipulation, some photo manipulation, some just like sketch drawing. I don't know, just like stuff I like to play with and try stuff out. So that's where I put that up. And some of them were like little mini series of things that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a swimsuit collection of like bigger dudes in speedos, all with like animal heads. And
Yeah.
That is magical. Oh man.
I turned that one into a shirt actually. Well, without.
Did you?
Really? Oh, that's still like I want that as a screensaver or a poster. That's funny.
That's good. Yeah, this is cool stuff. I love the praying hands too, with all the different things in it.
Yeah, that again, it was just like I had an idea for a series I wanted to do, but like I just wanted to kind of do it for me, and it was like I was looking up like the 7 sins and like kind of modern takes on them, and then when I Wikipedia'd it, there turns out there used to be 8, and I was like, oh well, shit, okay, I'll make one for all 8 then.
I really like the praying hands series. I'm really liking that.
Yeah, so
yeah, it's great.
I don't know how many people are in here right now, but I'm happy to give away like the praying hands. Probably maybe gamer one makes most sense.
Yeah, we've got we got 4 or 5 people in the chat.
Yeah,
Crypt Teams, NFT Raider. I can just if you're in the chat right now or watching, drop a quick hello so we can see that you want some goods, and we can do a quick tally. But yeah, I'd say 4 for now.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
We can do a draw later for a Lame Boy too. But yeah, just so everyone can have something. Just get one of those. Out.
Hell yeah! Nice. Yeah, these are cool. And like you said, like you wouldn't imagine it was the same
yes,
the same boy.
See the logo there up by Saint Genre? That was actually my concept for it, was that people would like pick their vices and then you collect them and then you just drop them into a GIF maker and create your own little vice loop, because the hands don't move, just the item changes. But again, it's one of those ideas where I thought it was a cool idea, but then, never really. People are like, what? I have to make my own GIF? And I'm like, okay, well, jeez. All right. I have to burn the Lame Boy? You can't just...
Another thing to stand by: comfort is the number one enemy of humanity. People get so comfortable with just one thing. No, you gotta put in a little work, man.
Even when I made the Dope Bois, so I originally kind of wanted them to break the border of their little box. Like, I love it when things kind of break the border. So I did the name tag, kind of go over it a little bit. But then I was like, well, what if people want to use it as their PFP? I want it to have like a clean background so that people can zoom it. But then the way it works, if like certain places you might want to cut it, it sometimes gets the red or the top in it. And so when I've been posting, I'll just put it in Photoshop and just like, color that out. But I feel like even that, people are like, no, if it shows it, I don't want to do it. Like they would want me to be like, can you remove the background for me? Okay, maybe.
Hey, damn it! Just get in there and do it.
Yeah, it's real easy. If you even have like any basic paint program, it's a flat color. Just select that color. Yeah, I tried to make it so that they're inside a box. So like and the way like the boxes are placed, the little like attack value, and that it's all just outside the circle, so that if you have a circle, you can get a clean thing of your boy. But then the way that it breaks is if you want to like zoom in on like the head or something, and then you need to like remove a bit of the background, unless you want the name tag in or something.
Right.
But yeah, at like a perfect circle, it fits inside the square and it doesn't overlap those things. And that was like, my thought is that if people want it, there's a clean version. They just have to slide the little zoom scale a little bit.
That's right.
I got to commend you on your attention to detail for all these things. It's really, really, really cool. Like, I mean, like the detail to the systems. That's what I mean.
Yeah, like I said, like I've always enjoyed making games and stuff, and I've been watching NFTs for twice as long as I've been involved in doing them. So I think I just kind of noticed things that I'm like, and it's just more subconscious where I'm like, oh, people are gonna want to like maybe use that as a picture, so maybe I should think about that.
Who's that rocking the gold AK? It looks like.
Oh, that's just Jinx Charlie, the hungry yellow dog.
That's right.
That card is sick.
Guys, I'm gonna get super high later and just go through all the names.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm gonna put. Like, I'm gonna do that after work tonight. I'm gonna get home and just go through all the names and just laugh.
So, and you're you mentioned when we were talking about the wheel and the traits and everything. There are some traits that you leave like generic and open. So when I see a series like this that, it looks like a randomly generated character in the same way that some of the other PFP stuff we've seen, people will set up like a large array of traits and shuffle them, and that's what comes out. But it sounds like you're approaching it from maybe you do have some traits set up or a layout, but that you are kind of manually going in and filling it out. How's that working? Because I've seen both. We've seen from Flagor's Punkdo, where each each punk is unique and hand drawn. You've got the body, but traits are added per thing to some PFP where everything's completely done and it's just the generator pumping them out. Which both take work, but I'm curious where this lands because it looks like almost a blend of both.
It is. It's a halfway in between. So, being that they're created only when a lame boy gets burnt, it kind of started at ground zero, where the first one everything was drawn from scratch, maybe even the second one. But as certain things progress, like that take time and have a look, I'll reuse them. So like the shoes, like the weapons, and stuff like that. But currently, like I'll draw each pants, I'll draw each shirt, and the face and stuff. And I liked the idea of that, and I like the concept of it. But there's certain things that I'm realizing once I get to Series 2. So I think Series 1 is going to hold like a really special place in being that each boy. I mean, there are some things that are reused, but for instance, when you see a T-shirt that looks like it's the same as another T-shirt, they're not. I drew the T-shirt again.
Right.
The shoes are the same, and I've realized like that's not really necessary. It's kind of slows things down a little bit. So for Series 1, these guys are going to be special in the sense that there's a lot more individual detail to them. But I did set up like a template. So like I have a template of just layout, like position, because I wanted it to look uniform. So like I have a Photoshop file that has just big pink squares for like where the head is, where the eye line is, where the nose is. But then I hand draw the nose. And I've realized the parts that are important for me to draw and then the parts that are not as important. So for Series 2, I think there will be, I like drawing the face, the nose. I like that because I feel like every person is individual. And so even if someone looks similar to someone else, I want them to not be identical. And same with like the squiggle arms, squiggle legs has kind of become like that's the thing. So I feel like that's an easy thing to just draw in every time to make it that no two have the same. But as far as like once I've developed a style of pants, really I don't need to draw that every time. Like they look the same that you can't tell the difference. So I think for Series 2, I'm gonna have some more standardized stuff. But the couple things I'm going to always keep the same is the squiggles and the nose and face shape to kind of do that. And I'm also going to allow myself to be open too, that when I do add new stuff, I can put it in. But I think I want to have a bit more of a template so that I can run with it a little bit faster. Because right now it definitely hinders my ability, which makes the value part hard for me to really swallow as well, because it takes me a lot more time to make them. So if I want to keep the cost down, I think I need to pump up a little bit of some of that reusability for some parts.
Absolutely.
So if you got a Series 1 there.
That's right. And there's how many lame boys are left at the moment? I haven't checked in a minute. It's loading for some reason.
I'm working on Dope Boy number 54. So there's max. There's only a max 46 more that can be made. There's people that are sitting on some dead boys and stuff like that, which I don't know if anyone's in here, but when Series 1 comes to an end, people don't need to worry. Like stuff's not gonna lose its ability to be used. It just will lose its ability to be part of Series 1.
Gotcha. So right now, like I have a dead boy. So while Series 1's going on, if I use a necromancer potion, it's going to be a zombie or a vampire or a ghost part of Series 1. But if I wait, or I pick up a necromancer potion, say next year, I can still use it, no problem, but it'll be a Series 2 vampire. It'll be a Series 2 ghost or whatever. Okay.
Correct. And like, there's going to be like a time window. I feel like finishing up Series 1 is probably going to run till about May, maybe. I think May, potentially. Okay. That's an estimate. I'm going away for a little bit in March, so I think that's gonna slow it down a little bit. So yeah, I think May, and then I'm gonna have like a little gap between Series 1 and Series 2 to kind of give people time to kind of cash in any lame boys that they still want to get into Series 1, and give me a little bit of time to develop Series 2.
Yeah.
So there will be a transition period. It's not all like gonna be rushed. Like it won't be like tomorrow. You have till tomorrow. I'll give fair, like at least probably a month's notice for people to take care of those kinds of things. But
yeah. Now, okay, so we've checked all this out. Are we able to run a brawl?
yeah, sure.
I want to battle. I want to see it in action. Yeah.
Do you have what level's your Rex?
My Rex is I want him to be a 14, but I think that's what I was just looking at. Let me double check. Where's my Rex at? Where's my Rex at? Come on, Lodi. There's 10. I'm a level 10.
All right. So I've got a level 11, Joey the Death Shark. If you want to,
that's it.
if you want to brawl, I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
And so like for me right now, oh.
Oh. We lost our guy real quick. We're gonna wait for him to come back. Wow, what are you thinking there? Good times.
Oh, right now I was actually looking at the lame boys. I was like trying to pick one up real quick.
How many lame boys does it say are listed right now?
I just saw the one. I was just looking at the one. Let me see if I can find a listed one. But I was having because I went back to Hickett Nung, and that's where I saw one set. But I'm looking at the one that you're in. Let's see. Oh man, that's awesome. You have any way to communicate?
Yeah, the computer just went down, so he's in the chat right now.
Cool.
He'll be back. He'll be back shortly.
I'm gonna assume it was similar to what was happening to me, or if you remember back in the earlier episodes when I was trying to run everything through the laptop.
Oh yeah.
And it was just overwhelmed.
Yes.
That was the technical.
I think my charger, I had it plugged in, but I guess it wasn't just lined up quite right, so it wasn't actually charging, and it just killed it.
Oh no.
Good call, actually, on that. I am hooked up to the charger. Never mind, because I moved my laptop to the other side. I usually have it on that side next to my charger, and I just realized it wasn't unplugged.
I just plugged in my laptop too. Running on empty, running on.
All right, so I'll set it up in the park. Does that work for you?
Okay, yeah. So on the side here, you've got the battlegrounds. This is where the actual brawls happen, right? And you've got the how to brawl, a very thorough list or instructions, probably straight out of the Bible, right?
Pretty close. They probably edited a little bit more, but
from the Dope Bible, right? You're right. Scrawled.
Yeah.
You said the park.
Yeah. So basically, what I just did is I just went to Dope Bois' channel, found my boy, right-click, saved him, and then what I'll just do is I'll say brawl.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same then. Find my Mr. Rex. Here I am.
And so I'll put up a challenge. I'll post the boy I want to use. So because this is a direct one,
Yeah.
I just put a straight up call to you, 1v1
Uh-huh.
brawl against who. If you're just wanting it open, you just, put up brawl, and then you could put, level +or-1 or level same, kind of whatever you're willing to brawl, or anything if you're willing to brawl anyone. You can set any kind of limits, like if you want to brawl a specific crew, you can kind of put all those things in.
Okay.
And then I've set it up so that I call them either friendly brawls, where it's just a brawl, you don't get any XP for it. If you want to do it for XP, just put rep brawl. And the only difference between that is it means at the end of your brawl, you just add brawl results, and I'll manually add your XP, because on the leaderboard, like last month, I ran a thing. Whoever had the highest XP for the month got a dope shroom. And
Oh, nice.
As it gets further and more people have Dope Boys and more people start brawling, there's going to be more kind of events like that and stuff. And that's kind of what the stadium and Coliseum are for too. There's going to be signups for like special events and stuff in there. So right now you can only battle in the park, the alley, or the cemetery. As I need more, I'll add more. But the stadium and the Coliseum are reserved for events. So anyway, so I put that up. If you want to brawl me, you see that I've put out the call. You post your ball or your boy. And say
Okay.
brawl.
And I'm going to say brawl as well?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
And so once I see that just gives me a chance to kind of review it and make sure it fits my guidelines, that you didn't, because I don't have to accept a challenge if it doesn't fit my guidelines. If it does, then we're good to go. So then I'll be like, ready. And then once you're ready, we can start the brawl. And then the nice thing about this is it is turn based. So you could technically do it like chess over the course of a long period of time. I mean, it's obviously more fun if you do it direct. You can also go ahead and use like the dope talk if you want to just call out your stuff as opposed to having to type it. But some people aren't as comfortable with, talking live. So it can all be done via just text. But if you want to be like, go ahead. And if that becomes a popular thing, I'll add more voice channels for that. For like each room. Like I'll have like the park voice channel. But so far no one's wanted to actually just talk it out. Okay, so now that we're both ready, we just take a look at the Dope Boy number in the top left. And you're 23, okay. I'm 53, which means you get the first turn. Kind of like OG. The older your boy is, the priority of churn. The only thing that can break that is there's a couple.
You're talking about this number. Okay. Top left, you said. Okay, I see.
So, top left. So whoever has the lower number gets first turn, unless a class rule would change that. Like if someone has a king character, they trump number. But
got it. Okay.
For the most part, you don't need to worry about that. Only people who need to worry about that are people who have that. Like I said, you don't need to know all the rules. You just need to know your card. So if you have a king card and his special thing is he can get first turn over people with lower number, that's on you to know. Like your opponent, you call it out and your opponent's like, what? I also, for each of these rooms, I pinned all the quick notes from the How to Brawl. So if you ever just need a quick reference, just hit the little pin and it'll give you a drop down of just kind of how a churn plays, like what things.
Oh, that's great.
And that's in all the rooms. Great. So you can just kind of quick reference. You don't have to go back and forth to the How to Brawl.
Cool.
Okay, that's really nice.
Yeah, so you've got the first churn. And the way this works is if you had, say, an attribute that needed to be used before you take your turn or at the beginning of your turn, you do it now. Your character, nice and simple, no attributes, no abilities, no animals. So the only thing you can do on your turn is attack. And the way attack works is you've got a base attack number there, which is 12. And then you have attack dice, which is for you, because you're a level 2 weapon, you got a D4 plus a D4. So the way you're going to do that is we're going to use the dice bot. And it's super simple to use, just exclamation mark roll. And then 1d4 plus 1d4 plus 12. I don't think you need to put the 1d4 in brackets. I think because it's just basic math that's smart enough to figure it out. We'll see.
Okay. And just real quick, if you've never used a dice bot before, what do these mean? Like, what's 1d4 plus 12 mean?
Sure. So the way the dice numbering goes is the first space, 1, is how many dice you want to roll. The D indicates dice. And then the last number is the number of sides. So 1d4 would equal 1 dice 4. You could technically write 2d4 plus 12 should work as well. There's just certain people that have like, a dice attack that's a multiplier.
Got it.
So
this is going to make it simpler with a larger or more complex command.
And the dice commands too, they're right in that pinned tweet to help out. You just go in there, scroll down, and you can see how to do it. It's all in there. A breakdown of it's at the very, very bottom.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Again, there are some fancy things that you can do, but you don't need to do. There's like a K that you can like roll 3, but keep 2. It'll keep like the best and stuff, but none of that's come into play. I just kind of put in a breakdown of how the dice bot works. And the only one thing I should clear is because it's a program, you have to use the star symbol for multiplication, not an X.
Right.
Again, it's one of those things I thought that most people would know, just from your keyboard, but
yeah,
because I used an X in the attack dice, so like visually, like word wise, I was like, it makes sense to put an X, like that's like a multiplication equation, but when people put in the dice bot, you have to use the star.
Okay, so I got the 1d4 plus 1d4 plus 12. So I'm ready. Oh, what is the 12 again?
The 12 is your base attack. So if you look on your card inside the black triangle, so that's like the minimum. Yeah, and that's.
So that's how I read it. So I'm reading the card basically. Attack dice is 1d4 plus 1d4. And only thing I can do is attack, so plus attack, and that's how I'm reading it. Got it.
Yeah. So the reason I put it the exact way to type it in the dice bot is because the game I feel is bigger than Discord, and I didn't want to like put 1d4 like all that. If I like do a real life copy, and someone sees d4 times d4 as opposed to d4 star d4, it just made more sense that if you get a real copy. If I make a DAP to use language that makes sense, and the DiceBot stuff is for the Discord.
This is great.
And that's why it's not.
That's great.
That's cool.
So yeah, once you've got that, you just go ahead and send that, and it should roll it. Yeah, and there you go. So Dice Man said you rolled a 2 and a 4, which is. Yeah, I'm sorry, my mouth is so slow. I was like, how does that add up? All right, so now you've attacked for 18.
Okay.
So what you do now? So now what you do is, my health is 59. So you just now need to post. You say, me 48, and then you 59 minus 18. And there's a built-in calculator in Discord if anyone needs it. I feel like it's just /calc, but if everyone has calculators on their phone or whatever too. So, and the reason I get people to post their HP and the other people's HP is so that you don't always have to scroll all the way back to see where everything is. We have a running total at the end. So if you say me 48, you whatever, if I agree to that, I start my churn. If I see the numbers you put up and I'm like, no, that's not right, then I dispute it with you before I start my churn. Once I start my churn, I've basically said, I think that what you said is right. And now that's like locked in as lore. So we only ever have to scroll back to the last churn.
Because, I like that.
Yeah, you've basically said, I attacked you for 18, which means you have 41. And if I look at that and I'm like, yep, and I start my churn, if you were wrong, Well, that's on me for not checking you.
Right.
Okay, so if I agree to that, basically I'll start my turn. And so my character does have an ability. It's a chain reaction, which basically I get to roll a d6 until I roll an even number, and then I'll get to do an attack times the number of times I rolled. And I think I'm going to do that since my guy only has an attack dice of 6 and to kind of show what an ability does. So if I want to use an ability, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out the ability's name. So I'll just type in chain reaction. And that's just, I need to call out any attributes or abilities that I'm going to use before I use them so that you know that that's what I'm doing. As opposed to just like rolling the d6 and then being like, oh, I was doing that, not my turn. So I'm saying chain reaction, which to you is telling you, okay, instead of his attack, he's doing chain reaction. And then I'll just go roll 1d6. Oh, whoops. That's right. I forgot the all-important exclamation mark. And it's a 5, so odd, so I get to go again. And it's even. So I rolled the dice twice before I hit an even. So I get 19 times 2, 38. So then I will just tally that up. And I'll let you know the damage I'm doing from my attack. And so these kind of steps is like, if you don't know what my ability is, you can step in and be like, what do you mean 38 damage? And I can explain to you, oh, my card has this, and I can, show the steps of what I did. And this is where, like, I think once people start playing, a voice chat is super easy because while I'm rolling, I can just be like, oh, chain reaction, I get to roll my d6, and it's just fast and easier. But so you have 48, so now I'm going to say 41. You 48, so you got 10. And then you'll see that pop up. If you agree to that, then you can start your turn. If you're like, no, bro, that's not how math works.
These are real numbers.
All right, here we go. I'm going to definitely do better this time. I can feel it. Let's see, I think I did that right. Oh, okay. Damage. 18 damage. I'm just going 18 every time. I'm going to whittle you down. Bit by bit.
Oh, yeah.
10.
I remember actually last time I brought someone, I was going to bring this up. So I used something that has a count, chain reaction, and it has a 2 after it, which means I can use it twice. And just again, this isn't, you don't need to do this, but a nice thing to do is if I had said chain reaction 2, so that it just shows the count along the way we go. So we don't always have to scroll back up to the card and we can know like, oh, I've only got 1 left, but it's not necessary, but it's just a nice thing for making it less scroll. So I'm at 23. My base attack is 19. So I'm just going to do my regular. I'm just going to go roll 1d6 plus 19. And there'll be enough. Oh, max roll. Just crit. Okay. So, yeah. So then it's over. And then, so once that, I guess, you don't have to go into negative numbers, obviously. You can, and then I would, so then whoever wins, if it's a rep roll, the winner is responsible for reporting it because obviously they're going to benefit from the XP more than the other one. One thing about XP though, if you battle people that are higher level than you, even if you lose, you'll get a little bit of XP. If you battle people that are lower than you and you lose XP. And if you battle people that are lower than you, you don't get as much XP. So I think the breakdown of how XP is given out is in How to Brawl. but it's a formula that basically rewards you for beating people higher level, and punishes you for losing to people higher level than you.
And the XP, when it is reported, will be added to what part on the card? Anywhere or no? Or is that a separate
card? It's just in the
I gotcha.
for Discord giveaways.
I gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Whether there's a way later to like tie that into the metadata so that can be kind of carried with a card would be cool. But for now, that system is purely just off of these brawls, and it's just for like personal clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say at same genre, put my name. I put the Dope Boy I used, and I'd say winner, and then I'd say at PC 84, Dope Boy 00, what was it, 23? Yeah, 23. Loser. And then I would at brawl results. And so to close it out, the winner posts something like that, just to show it, just so that when I can just go search at brawl results and just see all the brawl results, so that I don't like go through the channels.
Gotcha.
And from that, I would punch in I would just punch those into the equation of like what the levels of the Dope Boy was, and it'll just tell me what XP both people get. And then that would go into, under leaderboards at the bottom, brawl results.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a little bit slower with the having to type. If you're comfortable using voice, I'd say that definitely will help speed it up, because then all you really need to worry about is just rolling what you need to roll, as opposed to having to get into all that kind of stuff. But if you're not, it's still doable. You just need to be aware of like letting the other person know what you're doing.
I also like that this is, and I guess this is probably true for other games like with this style, but just the idea of having like a set of these as a cards is I mean, the way that you've set them up and the way that they read and everything, it would be really cool to have a pack of these and be able to like break them out, you know, pre-Thanksgiving dinner or at a birthday party or something, and just play. So, or like you said, having a DAP, being able to do live tournament style stuff, or you were talking about the 3-on-3 again. Kind of, it's just open for expansion. So it's really cool.
For myself personally, as soon as Series 1 comes to a close, I'm ordering a test pack from, there's a thing called Game Crafter, which allows you to like basically print and play. I just don't know the quality of them, so like I don't want to say that like that's what I do, but I feel like after the 100, I'm gonna get that, see how it works, looks for me, and then if I do offer it, the way it'll be is it'll only be available to holders of a Dope Boy, but you'll get a pack of all the Dope Boys, so that when you play at your at-home version. And I think the way that will be more fun for that will be kind of like the 3-on-3 or the cap level of say 20, and then you put the deck out, everyone draws say 5 cards, and then say if your cap is 20 or 30, you can pick out the Dope Boys until you reach close to that level, but you can't go over it. And then once you put one out, he has to fight to the death before you can put the next one in, kind of thing. But that's kind of how it goes. Or you do the 1v1s. There'll be a lot of different styles. But yeah, I'm gonna order one off of, I believe, Game Crafter, just to see if it's garbage. Then I don't want to give it. I don't want to sell people garbage. So But again, I need something small run. Because
I'm thinking you do the circle you get that profile pic style where you get the circle with just the head, and then I want a stack of pogs. I want a Dope Bois slammer and a stack of dope pogs. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Pogs are a big deal, so you might not want to miss that market.
Yeah.
Give me one of these.
Yes. Rollerblades and pogs.
With a Jinx Charlie, the Hungry Yellow Dog Slammer.
That's right.
That's right.
Awesome.
Awesome, dude. No, yeah, that's great. I can't wait to see more of this, and I will. I feel like the walkthrough makes me feel a little more confident on brawling a little bit. So you might see Rex throwing down a little more frequently, And I gotta get my Necromancer potion sometime soon, and I'm gonna keep my eye out because Undead Boys are where it's at.
Well, if people want to, I'm happy to brawl people or just to walk through their brawls with them too. Like I said, because
Cool.
it's turn-based, you can take it slow. If you get to a spot where you're like, I don't know what to do, just tag me. And I'm working on the computer a lot of the time. I'm terrible at remembering to check regularly, but I do check in and have it answer questions or brawl with you against you to kind of walk you through it.
Nice.
And I can be in voice chat. You don't have to be, but.
And so let's see. I've got your. There's a Twitter handle here for Dope Bois at Dope Bois NFT. Where can people find your Discord? Is there a link on your Twitter to the Discord?
Yeah, links right at the top of the Dope Bois NFT at the Dope Bois NFT Twitter.
Perfect.
I don't have a Nitro link yet where it's Dope Bois, wherever it's just one of the random generates, but it's a forever one. So
Perfect.
and the website's coming shortly. I don't have an exact timeline for that, but it's coming soon. I've been building that, so that'll help too. I'll have some links and info there for people who are less comfortable with Twitter or Discord.
Excellent. And then also, what was I going to say? Do you want to do get a lame boy to somebody?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. And do you have the addresses for the people here for what's it called? The Praying Hands Vice?
I do. I'll send those over.
What's is it Raider that has a tool that you can drop it to multiple people? Yeah, cool. I'll use that. Thank you.
And he's got and Raider's got the wheel too, the new wheel.
Oh, maybe I should import the wheels over. Start running the Get Dopes or Get Deads over on NFT Raiders wheel. Can I save multiple wheels there? Can I save wheels with hundreds of things on them?
Raider, functionalities. Let's see. We'll see. That would be awesome.
Dead, now officially run on NFT Raider.
That's right. All right. So we got Crypt Teams in the chat. We've got Raider in the chat. Let's see. Anybody else that's watching that hasn't commented? Comment now or forever hold your peace. It might just be a shuffle between the two. Get dope or get dead. Let's go. It's going to be a short shuffle, but either way, it's a shuffle. Man, I am like I said. I think from the beginning, I'm so glad to be able to have you on the show, and I want people to see this game because it's The artwork is sick. The game building is sick. Like, just the whole thing. Like, I want people to be like, okay, like I'll forego this PFP project, this drop this time, because I can get a fucking lame boy and have a game I can play all the time, like, as opposed to like just holding on to another one of these things. I want this thing to take off. I want to see it take off. Please remove the last line. Got it. Thank you, Raider. Okay, so we're gonna shuffle and see what happens. You say the word, Sane.
Go for it.
Boom. Raider's Tool picks Raider.
Nice.
No, that's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Raider, you get a lame boy.
Hell yeah.
You can hang on to it or burn it and play some Get Dope or Get Dead.
Burn it. Burn it. Challenge.
I feel like Raider knows how to burn something.
Yeah, he might know. If you need a walkthrough, just hit up Sane. He'll walk you through burning a token.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well, was there anything else you wanted to cover that we didn't touch on? So we're winding down on time, and yeah, this has been awesome.
No, I think that's it. If you have a Dope Boy, go into events channel on Discord, get them up there for the February event. Basically, sign-ups till the 7th, and then you have a whole week to carry out your brawl. You'll be matched up against someone close to your level, and winners go into a draw for something special. And if you've been around for any of the past kind of events, something special usually is something special. So.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. All right, Sane. Well, thank you so much for coming in and talking about Dope Boys. Yeah, it's dope. And thanks for your support too. We're always happy to see you in the chat. So we appreciate you hanging out and being here.
They need to have like a pre-show notification, because usually what happens is my phone notifies me that that the stream is on, and by the time I see that, it's already like starts. So I come in like 5 minutes later. I'm like, oh, what did I just miss? Need like
actually, I just launched the Tezos-artcast art drop calendar on the site. So I will be posting. I've posted every show for the next month. So I think, well, I know that you can subscribe to the calendar, and then that would give you a Tezos-artcast update. But you might also be inundated with hundreds of art drops. So either way, I'll work on it.
Sounds good.
And yeah, if you have any upcoming projects, like individual projects or Dope Boy drops when season 2 comes out, like, I'd love to have it on there featured. So
yeah, I've been doing a little bit of personal stuff. I've been kind of busy, but I don't know where to drop anymore. I was talking on Tia because I'm kind of worried, because Dope Boys right now, it's all been posted through Hen.
Yeah.
And they're still going with the contract for now, but someone mentioned that they might be doing like a side contract. So I don't want the collection to be broken up. Like, that's the whole reason I didn't make a specific Dope Boy. I'm like, okay, so Series 1, I'm just gonna finish it out on Hen so that it's all in one place. Series 2, I'm looking into things, but yeah, even for same genre, I was like, where do I drop now? I was looking at Versum. I don't know what people are feeling there. I kind of like it, but I also kind of have some issues with it. So
yeah,
wearable object. I don't know. What's your guys' take on, just for personal stuff that you're doing?
I've been posting most of my stuff on hic.af. It's a mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Hen mirror, but I think they from what I understand, they did change the contract slightly, but it's still an object. So,
Okay.
like, I know that you can do like multiple mints on the page. You can do like split. I don't know. That's what I've been using.
Okay.
And I've checked out Versum. I bought something on Versum, but yeah, my go-to minting is still on Hick AF.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. Peace out, brother. Thank you so much.
Good times.
Good times. Bye, Crypt Teams.
Absolutely.
Gotta go. Thank you, guys. Raider, thank you. Any final thoughts, sir? We're gonna get. I think if that card game works out, I think you'll have to move the Dungeons and Dragons over, and it's gonna be a Dope Boy Sunday at your work.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna start setting up Sunday brawls at work. It's on. Yeah. I guess the answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is always yes. If we didn't mention it already, and you're out there, check out tezos-artcast.xyz/events for upcoming drops from our community. We had a kind of informal chat on Discord with some friends turned into we should make this a part of the Tezos-Artcast website. So go there and subscribe to the calendar so that you can get notifications about all of the different drops that are happening across the Tezosphere, no matter what marketplace it is. And add your own drop as well to the calendar so people will get to see it and know about it. And we get the bonus of being able to post in a central place about when the Artcast is happening and who it's going to be. So that's maybe something that I'll even keep up with. I don't know. Maybe it won't be like, I don't know who's on next week, but come back. Maybe you'll already know. For the rest of February, we've got it lined up. So
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good year.
It is. Hey, man, thanks again for hanging out.
Absolutely.
And everybody in the chat, thank you. We'll get everybody's going to get a special sane genre original on top of the Lame Boy that was given out today. So tell your friends, Tezos-Artcast is the place to be. And we'll see you soon.
Lights.
Peace, love, art, NFTs and stuff.
Yes. I like that one.
All right. Later, y'all.